Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Pyromancer here, and welcome to my channel. Hope you're all having a wonderful day, morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. And today, I've got another theory for you. A little bit shorter, perhaps, than the Kel'Thuzad video, but if we need a good theory, then we always need some good tinfoil. You guys know how it goes, right? Today, we're talking goblins. We're talking Jastor Gallywix. We're talking what happened to this guy. Buckle up. Jastor Gallywix. He's just a little guy. Extra little now, after being embarrassingly crushed by his own robot. But is he really gone for good? Today, we will discuss a trail of hints which may suggest that our old pal Gally isn't so gone. There are a few key details to consider regarding Gallywix's death. Number 1, he appears to have been crushed by his own robot, but his body is nowhere to be found after his death. His body is shown in the cinematic, but oddly not after the fight. I believe this choice was made deliberately. Number 2, there's a hole in the middle of his boss room with arrows pointing into it and a goblin face at the bottom. The perfect escape route. However, this could simply be a hint to indicate the players what to do with the bombs during the fight. Okay, I will admit that. Number 3. Gazlo remarks that Gallywix is gone for good in the post-raid cinematic. Now, I could be crazy, but this feels very on the nose. A bit too obvious of a remark to make. In media, it isn't uncommon for characters to express their beliefs, while the creator of the story knows that behind the scenes, there's more going on. Right? It's meant to suggest to us as the viewer, as the player, something may be a little bit deeper. It could be that Gazlo was given this line to intentionally make us consider whether what he says is actually true or not. Number 4, and maybe one of the most glaring examples of why this theory could be true. In Undermine, there are multiple instances of us defeating the mech or tank that a goblin is fighting us in, and then killing the goblin afterwards. Vexy Full Throttle, the first boss of the Galagio raid, she's like this. You beat up the tank and then she jumps out and you kill her dead on the ground, right? Very first boss, very on the nose. So is the post-raid questline finale boss. His name's Tabanara Fizzlecrank. Ironically, Tabanara's defeat literally mirrors Gallywix's, with him being exploded by his own mech. But instead of him dying, he barely lives. It's especially ironic, because he says he's gonna blast us to Tazavesh. I couldn't believe it when I heard him say this. I said, Tazavesh? What? No, Tabanara, it's you. You're the murderer. Fine. Wow, you caught me. It won't matter though, because I'm blowing you all to Tazavesh. Plan B. He mentioned Tazavesh. Holy shit. An interesting remark, don't you think? Let me fill you in on a forgotten and seldom noticed detail from the Shadowlands mega dungeon. Tazavesh, the Veiled Market. Tazavesh is a magical floating barge run by the brokers, traders, and venture capitalists of the Shadowlands. While some cartels focus more on artifacts and the study of the first ones, others are aimed squarely at profits, like Cartel's Eye. The city is covered in shady dealings, strong arms, and forgery. It's quite literally a culture built on corruption and deceit. Perfect for an untrustworthy goblin, which is exactly what we find. In Miser's Oasis, an upscale and exclusive bar of the brokers, we see just such a goblin, Jastor Gallywix. He's found sitting in a lounge making dealings with Cartel's Eye, dealings that we have no idea the details of. Hell, I don't think we even know how he got there. This would have been after the events of us confronting the cartel leader, Artificer Zymox, in Castle Nat. But before confronting him in the sepulcher of the First One's raid, unlike other broker cartels that primarily focus on commerce and information exchange, Cartel Xi is notorious for its opportunistic and unscrupulous pursuits, often engaging in activities that blur the ethical lines to achieve their goals. Sounds like the perfect ally for someone like Gallywix. Artificer Zymox, the leader of Cartel Xi, exemplifies the cartel's cunning and self-serving nature. In the Castle Nathria raid, he's encountered as a boss who's allied with Sire Denathrius. Not out of loyalty, though, but to advance his own agenda. Sound familiar? His primary interest lies in acquiring and experimenting with powerful relics, demonstrating his relentless pursuit of artifacts. His actions consistently reflect the core values of Cartel Xi, prioritizing personal gain and the acquisition of knowledge, regardless of the moral implications. The good news is, we kill Zymox once and for all within the sepulcher of the First One's raid. However, this event leaves an evident power vacuum within Cartel Xi, with no known replacement thus far. Is it possible that Gallywix made a deal with Cartel Xi to have his soul restored after his death? Could it be that he made dealings which could set him up as the next leader of Cartel Xi? Or are we overcomplicating it? Maybe the fate of greedy goblin souls is not Revendreth or the Maw. Maybe it's Tazavesh, or wherever the brokers originally came from. I mean, think about it. Brokers, ethereals, and goblins all have some powerful similarities. Cartels, trading, deals, betrayal, debts, greed, and more. Now, let's not ignore how industrious and intelligent all three of these groups are. If only they would use their power for good. Maybe we're looking at three shades of paint on the same model. Goblins are mortal, ethereals are immortal, thanks to Dimensius, and brokers are mortal souls that became immortal through the machine of death. Even if our boy Gallywix wasn't making deals with Xi to preserve himself, what's stopping him from becoming a broker in the afterlife? As far as I can tell, nothing. I find it remarkable that Tarbanar Fizzlecrank had the line about blasting us to Tazavesh because it doesn't relate to literally anyone other than Gallywix. The similarities in the defeat cannot be ignored, and the glaringly obvious effort from Blizzard to get us to consider this cannot be overstated. Is it a common belief, or becoming a common belief of the goblins, that in their death they would go to Tazavesh? Why the hell else would this guy say that? That doesn't make any sense. The final point is this. Gallywix's death to some felt rather underwhelming. Sure, it's great to see that the moneybags behind the operation was actually a weak little bitch, and that all the people that he took advantage of and paid off were the ones who are actually doing the work, not this guy at the top. Sound familiar? Bobby Kotick. Anyway, to me, it felt like something was missing. I would love to see Gallywix return as a broker, or even find out that his dealings with Cartel Xi gave him access to something like a phylactery. A very important concept I discussed in my last video about Kel'Thuzad. There's still a massive goblin cannon that needs firing in Ashara. So maybe Gallywix returns for one final gambit and uses the cannon to, I don't know, blow a hole in the sky above Azeroth. Maybe it gets fired at something else, like the moon. I don't know. Either way, I ask you, is Gallywix really gone? Or does he have one more ace up his sleeve? I'd love to know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you very much. Stay awesome, and until next time, I'll see you guys in Tezavish.